fucking scoot back a little so I guess so I don't punch the microphone. Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch.
Welcome to Filmoscopy, a podcast where three friends will talk about a movie that one of them has selected. Today is going to be the movie Signs, and it's a 2002 film. And with me today are no one. I'm talking to myself. This is a solo show, baby. With me today is Cody. Say hello, Cody. That's literally what the sound they make. And live in the studio apartment is Owen.
That's right, bitches. I'm back and ready to play, motherfuckers, in the flesh.
Well, everybody, we have Owen in person, which is always a lovely time. And it's always exciting to have Owen. One of these days, we're all three going to be together again, just for like an episode. It's going to be fucking awesome. Yeah. So, I mentioned today was the movie Signs. I put the S on the wrong word. So Owen, what was this your first experience that had you watched this movie before?
No, when I was like 4, this movie was like a big deal back in like 2002, 2003 or whatever. When I was really young, we used to watch this movie a lot, and I really liked it because it was scary, but it wasn't like actually scary to like a little kid. So it was like right in that little sweet spot where you could watch him be spooked, but like not actually be scared to like go to the bathroom or some shit, you know.
Well, if you're scared to go to the bathroom anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you get sucked into the toilet or something. But no,
I'm gonna put my foot in like at the bottom of the toilet and flush and see what it does.
Oh my god, you get sucked down the drain. But no, I watched this movie a lot when I was a kid, so this is probably the first time I've watched it since then.
Okay. Cody, was this your first experience with the movie?
Yes, my first experience was watching it at 5 o'clock this morning.
And, hell yeah.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit to say about it.
Oh, sweet. I can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
This is going to be one of those, like, I finally get a movie where everybody's going to shit on it. Well, this is not my first experience. I had seen this movie quite a bit once they released it on DVD. My dad had bought it because it was a Mel Gibson movie, and like, you know, growing up, we watched a lot of Lethal Weapons and stuff that he was in. So as Mel Gibson, we watched it, and you know, I didn't make the connection at the time that it was the same director as Sixth Sense. And then I think this movie kind of was one of the movies that brought me into like paying attention to like directors and shit like that, to names like M. Night Shyamalan, because he obviously puts his shit in the front of every one of his movies.
I like how any movie he makes now, it's like they fucking like take great efforts to remove his name from it, like in all promotional materials. But back then, yeah, like he was a big like fucking moneymaker.
And he wanted to be like Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Yeah,
was like everything. It was a TV show, obviously too. But obviously, this movie, the whole beginning credit roll of this movie is an homage to Psycho. Yeah. The music is screeching. It's like in your face and it gives you the credits. It's not like visually. It's not like the original Psycho movie with the music. And I heard like a couple reviews talking about like this movie, obviously musically, took some cues from Psycho. You know?
I mean, I kind of liked the score in this. There were aspects that I really liked, and I think the score was definitely one of them.
The score was pretty good. Visually, that intro though, like I was expecting Rod Sterling to show up at any moment. You know, imagine a world where aliens are real.
This movie is very 2002. Like from the CGI, which is pretty rough. And I don't think there's a lot of CGI from the early 2000s that ages well at all. Like, especially if you put it on a Blu-ray or in high definition. If you watch it on DVD, like my dad I still have his original DVD. And I watched the movie twice, and rewatched it on that, and it looks a lot better on DVD than it does on Blu-ray, just because.
The funniest thing about the CGI is like they take throughout the movie they do a really good job of trying like to kind of conceal it. You know, due to like the nature of the aliens having to be like in the background and shit, or like on the news footage, it's like all blurry and stuff. But I don't know if I'm getting my audio really good on it.
You're good. We're all talking about the same.
Okay, gotcha. Well, they take like great efforts to kind of like obscure the CGI and stuff, and it looks really good. The only time I think it really craps out is like at the end where you fucking see like the goofy alien face, and he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
He's like,
I actually agree completely. I thought it was pretty clever how a lot of times when you're seeing that, like the very few times you see the aliens, like you're seeing them through something else. So like you see that one at the birthday party through a camcorder, or
Yeah.
I thought at the end when he's rolling the TV into the room, before before it goes all like we're having a showdown with the alien, he kind of turns the TV, which this actually made me jump. But you see the alien's reflection in the TV screen, and like I was like, oh shit, like that actually looks good. And then of course they cut over to him, and it's like Owen was saying, the blast.
yeah, he's like a goofy like fucking monster. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, "Eh." But yeah, like and that ties into you saying that about the TV. Some of the shots in this are like really well done. Like the TV shot I can think of. There's this really cool shot after like I think the fight where they're kind of like going over all these little objects, like the broken bat and stuff, and like it kind of gives you a rundown of what happened. There's a couple I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a couple of shots that I was like, okay, that's pretty good looking cinematography. I don't know who the cinematographer's work,
Which I can.
what else he's done, but I thought it was pretty solid.
His name is Tak Fujimoto, and he has done. Oh damn!
He's done The Sopranos,
Hey,
well,
gabagool.
funny enough,
Gabagoo over here.
he was a part of the second unit of the first Star Wars film. He's worked with John Hughes and Shyamalan. He's been working since 1973. This isn't any movies you guys would know a lot. Married to the Mob. He did Silence of the Lambs, which is a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
My girlfriend thought it was kind of boring, but it's still a good movie.
I like the part where she gets the nut thrown on her face.
She's like, I'm bleeding. He did The Sixth Sense. Yeah, this guy, he's worked a lot. And his last movie, though, was 2013. So
He said, I'm old.
he was born in 1939. That's probably why he doesn't do it anymore. Yeah, but let me go ahead and do the facts real quick. So this movie was released theatrically August 2nd, 2002. It had a budget of $72 million and made $408.2 million.
Ooh.
And home
Still,
media.
that's still more than the
Yes, much more than the Northman. And Signs was released on VHS and DVD on January 7th, 2003. And what's funny is I bought the Blu-ray just for this podcast because I thought on the Blu-ray they would have film commentary so I could watch the movie with M. Night Shyamalan chiming in some shit.
He's like, in this scene, I really wanted to have her against the car because I thought it was funny.
And then he goes, in this scene, my dog stepped on a bee.
Yeah. He goes,
and we discovered before we called Cody, that M. Night Shyamalan sounds exactly like John Lovitz.
100%.
If you don't know, just look up a John Lovitz bit. He's a comedian, and look up M. Night Shyamalan's interview. They sound exactly the same.
Isn't M. Night Shyamalan in this movie? Doesn't he play Ray?
Yeah,
He's the guy who killed his wife.
Yeah, he's the guy who's like, it's like it was destiny for me to fucking run your wife down, dude. It's like it was meant to happen.
It's like it was
Like, it's
destiny
not my
for just
fault.
me to split her in half that night.
Yeah, dude, it's not my fault. It's not my fault I killed her. It's fucking all signs, bro.
Another thing,
I'll go ahead.
if you have seen Scary Movie 3, sorry, go ahead. Cody, my bad.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I was worried because when we finally got to that scene, because I was gonna bring up Scary Movie 3. Like, I can't help it that a lot of times in this movie I'm thinking of Scary Movie 3. Like, you know, the sheriff's deputy or whatever in Scary Movie 3, her hat keeps getting hat keeps getting bigger.
the scene where you see
Oh, that might
like
be
Mel
so-
Gibson gets out of his car and he's walking towards the accident,
Yeah.
and you see him on the side of the street like curled up with a blanket.
Yeah.
Well, in Scary Movie 3, it's Charlie Sheen playing that role,
Yeah.
and Charlie Sheen's walking. You see the guy, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna need a ride home."
Wait, it's the guy that
It's the
killed
guy-
his wife. I'm gonna need her head off.
And then they're
that's-
like, your wife's cut in half. He goes, what do you mean?
And
she's
that's
like-
literally what fucking happens in this movie.
I know,
too.
but the best part is Charlie sings. She's like, "Look," and she has a hot dog, and she breaks it in half. He goes, "She broke her wiener."
She broke her wiener.
And she's like, "Look, what happens to the taco?" And she breaks it in half. He goes, "I don't understand what you're saying."
I don't know.
And then she's like, "She's pinned against the truck. If we move it, her like it's like." And he goes, "She's talking, right?" He goes, "What about her bottom half? Is it working okay?" And she goes, "I don't understand." And he pulls up a donut and a hot dog. Just let me
Yes, I
explain.
remember that. The thing I remember the most about that is the fucking aliens peeing in each other's mouths. And then
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end, where like all the gangsters start shooting at each other and shit.
Scary Movie 3 will ruin the perception of this movie.
It makes
I think it's
Scary
the
Movie
best
3.
signs.
It makes Scary Movie 3 so much funnier though in retrospect because like for me, I'd seen Scary Movie 3 probably a dozen times in my life, and seeing
Yeah.
this for the first time was like, oh, that's where that came from. You know.
I think the best thing to come out of Signs is probably Scary Movie 3, honestly.
Well, it's weird watching this movie. I feel like there were a lot of scenes that kind of like were a little comedic, and I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
he
think
did
they
that
were
on purpose
intended.
too.
Or were they on purpose?
Yeah, a lot of probably the things you found funny, like in retrospect, like 20 years later, is probably not what he intended. But he wanted to put humor in the movie because he just done Unbreakable. And
Well,
there's like no humor in that movie whatsoever.
Because like there's the scene where I can't remember the brother's name, the preacher's brother, the guy Joaquin Phoenix's
Yeah.
character. He goes,
It's like Meryl or
Meryl,
Morris
yeah.
or some
yeah,
shit.
he goes and talks to the that sergeant, and the guy has like this look on his face. I'm like, what is he doing? Is he trying to be like a cartoon character? Like,
Oh,
he-
no, he's the army recruiter, right?
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah, that dude. Yeah, that. It's like, why don't you have stacks of cash and beautiful women licking your toes?
Licking your toes. Yeah, that fucking line. See, the dialogue is so fucking bizarre in this movie. Like,
I can't help but think about, hey, I'm gonna need a ride home after he killed his wife.
well, in that same scene too, like there's the whatever that guy's name is, the one that's like filling out the paperwork. He's like, because him and the recruiter are talking about like, yeah, you have all these records, these home run records and hit records and all that stuff, and the other guy's like, yeah, he also has the most strikeouts. It's like a extremely bizarre conversation. It's like, what in the fuck is going
it's like
on?
he came out of nowhere. Like, who the fuck does that? Like, he's like in the corner, like, yeah, he's also
Like he wasn't in
fucking
like the
stupid.
room at all, and then
Yeah.
he's back there.
He teleports in. He's like, yeah, he's also fucking lame and dumb and stupid.
It just felt
And like, dude, you're fucking like. I was watching Cinema Sins on this movie, and it says like, dude, you're like over like mid 20-year-old joining the army wearing a leather jacket, pot calling the kettle black. Let me make sure there's no more.
It's just
than
a
those.
weird M. Night Shyamalan moments. I mean, there's a couple parts where like they probably were supposed to be funny, but I was like laughing at them for like the wrong reasons. Like,
Yeah, probably so.
But I will say the moment going back to the scene where like the wife is pinned and it's building up to it the whole movie, right? And like you finally get to the part where he goes and talks to her. It actually did get to me a little bit. It's like, oh, I think this scene
it
is
did.
yeah, until like the very end of the conversation where it's like tell so and so to see
Swing.
and
Tell Meryl to swing, baby, swing.
yeah, it's like what the fuck? And then they like use it like it's this like prophetic like thing.
Dude, it was a sign, bro.
Yeah,
Oh Lord.
that's the
I
whole
know,
point.
it's fucking so stupid. I know.
Hey, but the best part in the Scary Movie 3, gotta go back to this again. And I hadn't seen Scary Movie 3 in a couple of years, mind you. I've probably seen it 24 times. Charlie Sheen kisses his wife one more time, and he's like, oh, he pulls out of his mouth a spark plug.
Yeah, I think I remember that too. That's pretty
And
funny.
she's like, tell everybody to do this. And she goes, and you, no sex. He goes, I can't hear you. No sex. No sex.
I think
She's
she's
like, go to
delirious.
sleep. He puts his fingers over her eyes and closes it, like, go to sleep. And she goes, tell Graham to swing away. He goes, swing away. I'll tell him. It's like, sure, that you heard. And she dies.
No sex. What?
You know, everything you guys are gonna say about this movie, I'm gonna like agree that it's there. But for me, like rewatching it, I hadn't seen this movie in probably over 10 years at this point, and like I said, I watched it a lot. But it blew me away when I was like, how old was I? 2008. I was 14.
I mean,
it blew me away, and it's just like when I watched it, because I had, like I said, watched it forever, and I watched it with my girlfriend, and she had never seen it before, or at least hadn't seen it in like the 20-year span.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, I hadn't watched this forever. It's got, drawn into it again. But that was the first watch. Watching it a second time to make sure I had the details down. Not so much. I was kind of bored with it.
Yeah.
But it was a good one watch for me at this point.
You were bored with it on this watch?
No, the second watch I did, because I watched it twice.
Yeah. I mean,
I watched it with back to back. I watched it with Brittany, and then I watched it like the next day, which was yesterday. I watched it just to make sure I had any plot points that weren't, because I always feel like an idiot where I'm like, what happened then? Because I want to make sure this movie's not that long and it's got a straightforward plot.
I do that shit all the time. I'm like,
it's interesting. Like, this is one of his like most like straightforward films. Like, I was, it's M. Night Shyamalan, so like most of his movies have some sort of twist to it. And
I think the twist is the water.
Yeah, it's like the fucking aliens invade a planet that's 3/4 water.
But see, I don't know if that's necessarily I don't really think it's a twist. I think it's just more ironic. It's like, oh, they came to harvest humans, but like we live on a planet that's mostly water. To me, I thought, they get trapped in the cellar at night or whatever when the aliens are actually in their home, and they wake up in this morning, they're like, oh, the aliens are all gone. I thought they were gonna like walk out of the cellar, and it turns out like they had like ripped the house out or something and taken the whole thing with them or something, to where like, oh, they were actually abducted and all, they're gone. But
what's funny is, this was a $72 million budget. I think you could have made this movie on $10 million. What the fuck do you do with the other $62 million?
It costs a lot of money to grow that corn.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, everything like in the town that this movie takes place, which is something Pennsylvania. I should probably look that up. I sound like a dumbass. Let me make sure.
Shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
It was all the scenes were filmed on location in Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Bucks County.
And the scenes of the house and cornfield were shot inside the campus of Delaware Valley University, an agricultural college where they had 40 acres of land to use. So, but everything was filmed in like obviously Pennsylvania or whatever, except for the Delaware. Well, the Delaware University is in Pennsylvania, so it's all like locally, which is pretty cool. Okay. Well, Mark Ruffalo was supposed to be in this movie, but he was recasted with Joaquin Phoenix because he had a tumor cut out from behind his ear. He was unable to work on the film.
I'm a tumor. I'm a tumor.
Well, Joaquin Phoenix really is the Joker, baby.
Hey, I'm gonna need a ride home. I guess I'll do just a quick overshot of the plot. The movie is very straightforward. Harrison Ford. God bless him. Mel Gibson. I don't know what the hell.
I mean, they're both like fucking old Hollywood kind of brown hair dudes.
Yeah. Mel Gibson is a priest for the I can't say that word right now in that moment. Episcopal.
It's like Episcopal.
Yeah.
Fucking Cody, you know how to say it, right?
Whatever. Fuck it.
Episcopal.
Yes.
That's what you're trying to say.
Yes,
yeah, that's what
we messed it up. He's a former priest, and his name's Graham. His brother is living with him and his 2 kids. You find out throughout the movie in flashbacks and like kind of vague but not so vague, kind of on the nose conversations that his wife is dead.
And the weird kids
you can tell. Like the little girl is Abigail Breslin. She's the chick who played in the 2 Zombieland movies, and she's played in other things, but that's what I know her from.
Yeah.
Obviously, the little boy is Roy Culkin, which is the 3rd of the Culkin brothers who are actors. And then Joaquin Phoenix is his brother. Brother.
Who plays the fucking sheriff?
The woman.
Yeah.
Um.
She has like
Well,
the
not
worst.
that sounds like the woman. I was like Cody had said something about the sheriff's office, but she's not a sheriff. Her name is Caroline Paskey. She was a local police officer. What says the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
She's played by Sherry Jones.
Her like southern accent is like the worst one I've ever heard.
Well, it's funny. I don't think they're supposed to have southern accents. It's supposed to be in
like
Pennsylvania.
Like, why the fuck?
It's like bumfucked Egypt, Pennsylvania, which is always funny to me because evidently, like you think about New York, you think about New York City, but anything outside of the city is kind of like a rural, almost like Nashville type of thing. It's not all not Nashville's on a good side, but
Oh, you mean like in upstate New York and shit?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like those weird small towns that they have up there. But like when you think New York, you just think NYC.
Yeah, NYC, NYPD,
NYPP.
But yeah, the movie. The more I think about it, it is kind of a paint by numbers script. Like there's not much depth behind everything. It's very straightforward.
Yeah, I mean this premise is like pretty much the draw here. It's that you have, and he plays around with kind of what he's like trying to make the subtext. Well, the overall story is that there's an invasion, and the crop circles start appearing in this farmer's cornfield and some shit.
Mm.
So that's like the big appeal, but it's weird with it because you never, for what's supposed to be an all-out invasion, you don't see like it's hard to, for me it's hard to suspend my disbelief that like, okay, they're invading, but there's only like fucking like 2 aliens. There's like they only see like one fucking alien.
Yeah, I also think that because he didn't want it to be a big CGI fest with the movie, which he could have done. Because I think like 4 years later, War of the Worlds came out, the remake with Tom Cruise. Yeah. I think this movie really, the alien part, the invasion from the aliens is really just a backdrop for this priest trying to find his faith again.
Yeah. And that's why, I mean, I think I brought it up to you earlier. I was like, was the original script of this supposed to be that not an alien invasion, but like the rapture?
Well, I think like the aliens are kind of
Like
on the
this-
nose, just kind of like it's almost like demons.
Because everybody's like, oh, this is the end of the world and people are being taken away and that's what they came to do.
And the events of this movie only takes place in 3 days.
Yeah.
His wife died 6 months before, obviously, but it's only Cody. You back yet?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I heard you breathing. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I was going to jump in and say like about this rapture thing. I think my impression is that it is sort of like that, but the alien invasion is more supposed to be, it's probably something that was gone with because it's close to being like the rapture, but it's not so on the nose where if you're a preacher who's lost his faith and the rapture starts to happen, you're probably pretty quickly going to turn around and be like, oh,
I mean, I still
wrong.
think you can make an interesting like dynamic with that shit with like a character who is like, a preacher that lost his way. Like,
but
like,
see,
shit,
I think with the
it's
aliens,
fucking real.
The alien stuff is, I think it's a little more clever because it's like, obviously in this world in the movie, it's like ours where people talk about aliens and there's conspiracy theories, but like most people are like, all right, this shit's not real. And that's sort of how it is. Like aliens are starting to show up, but they're pretty much like trying to figure out any other reason that it could be like explained outside of aliens. And then, of course, when they find out like, oh, these are aliens and yes, they're hostile, that's when it starts to kind of like all seem hopeless. And, he starts to find his faith again because it's like the end of our world could be here.
Yeah. I guess my thing about it is that like, I just don't get why he had to put in that like, okay, an invasion's happening that I feel like he could have made this like some kind of like weird, like how like Fire in the Sky, it's like a single abduction. Like I don't know, some aliens could be like harassing his house for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
like make it more isolated
for a bigger budget. I mean, I'm not saying $72 million is a huge budget for 2002. I think that's a pretty big budget. I think he tried to keep it as simple as he could. Yeah. Like the way, like this one guy I was listening to, YouTuber Chris Strickland. I think is his name. He was defending this movie, and I watched a couple reviews that obviously tore the movie apart or whatever, which is fine. And I watched the making of, and really, it's so hard to describe because I can't get my thoughts in line. Not because this movie is so deep. It's really like the alien invasion part is like this whole story is about Mel Gibson's character finding his faith again.
Yeah, I mean that's
the main part of the story. Yeah. Obviously it's like he is somebody that has lost faith. His wife is dead. Like if you walk out the first scene when he walks out of his bedroom because something's not right, and then you hear his daughter scream. There's a faint shadow of where a cross used to be, and it's off the wall. So he's taking all this stuff down. He's completely like
be done. He didn't wash his walls, a nasty bastard.
Probably, yeah, that too. But
I will say I like how the alien invasion stuff was presented in this. I like that it's like it slowly builds up. You get the ships that are like kind of hovering over.
And I know a big sticking point for you guys is probably the water affecting the aliens.
Stupid.
But the thing is, the aliens didn't come here for the planet.
They came here for the pussy.
That too. They came here for OPP, other people's pussy.
But we're made of water, though, too. Is what also.
But it's one of those things like almost the times you see the aliens in this movie, it's almost like they're afraid because they're separated. That scene, the first scene where you see the alien pop up, it's at that in the Brazilian village where they're having a little birthday party. Yeah. And it's almost like the way it's been described by the people who supported this movie was the alien was crouching in fear, and then it stood up and walked away like it was almost. Like, was it okay for I go ahead and leave?
He's like, "Fuck, there's kids."
And the way at the end of the movie when the alien's holding the Culkin kid,
Rory, and he's putting his hand over him, giving him that fart gas.
He's like,
"Yeah, smell that, bitch." He's like, his lungs are closed. It's okay. His lungs are closed.
He, like, the alien's almost in fear. Like, what do I do? He's trying to get back to his people, whatever. And obviously, that's the same one.
He's like, you guys caught me with my dick in my hand.
Yeah.
It's almost like.
I see that because they also make a comment, like, the news makes a comment, like, or I guess maybe it's Merrill or whatever that makes the comment saying, like, yeah, they said they've all left, but they've left some of their wounded behind. So, like, if you're one of these aliens that's been left behind by the rest of your people, it's like, oh shit, what am I going to do? But we also get that sign of like fear or whatever early on when he sees the one that's on the roof at night and they like go outside to chase it, and it basically jumps over the house and runs into the cornfield to get away from him.
Superman.
I had a scene. That scene. I never caught up on that because my TVs, I guess, were never good quality or whatever. I had to watch that scene on YouTube just to make sure the alien was on the roof. But
I will say I wish they didn't do that. I don't like that they did that. I don't like that they did where he's in the cornfield and you see the leg. I think that it probably would have been a little bit more impactful if it would have waited for the birthday party in Brazil. Like, to be the first time you see an alien. Because as a viewer, you're told pretty quick, like, oh, the aliens are real. So there's no, like, tension there. It's just a matter of, like, I think that, like, the only tension from that point on is seeing, like, is just wondering what the aliens are there for. But I really do think that they should have just waited to, like, show an alien until that camcorder footage.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be effective for, like, that initial scare. I did like the way
Joaquin Phoenix reacted to it.
Yeah, wait, what? And what scene?
When he's in the closet and he's watching, he's like, "Move out of the way, kids, vamos!" He's like, that's kind of racist.
It's like that's not the right language either.
Yeah, I know, it's hilarious, but he's just like, oh, he puts his hand up to his face.
Oh my god!
It's like really good. But another scene in Scary Movie 3, when they spoof this scene, they show the birthday party and the alien's walking over there. And he goes, "Let's see that again." The alien walks the opposite way, like he's just walking in front of the camera. And then they show another visual of a horse just like dropping shit out of its ass, and the alien walks behind it. and Jeremy Renner, who's the guy who played in the movie, and he goes, "Really disturbing." Like he's just like pausing, like he's like smiling or something like that. And
yeah, doesn't he like do the same like walk, but he's just like walking behind a bunch of different shit?
yeah, it is, but it's literally like the last scene of it is like a horse just dropping all this shit out of his butt,
Yeah.
and it walks past it. It's like, but the best part you see at the birthday parties is like, let's watch this disturbing footage. You see the alien walk. He's like, let's see it again. The alien walks the opposite way, like walking back in front of the camera, and they're like, it's like looking at the camera each time. It's hilarious. But yeah, like I said, the whole movie is just like, his disbelief in like it's like all this is coincidence, stuff like that, and how everything in this plot is pretty much tied up to a sign. And like I said, it's a little bit too much on the nose.
What's the sign that Rory Culkin had asthma and that was going to save him
when he had to kill his? Oh yeah, well the thing is, that scene, like the whole like killing of the dogs, I don't need that in movies. I've talked about that before.
They kill every dog in this movie.
Yeah, I don't need to see an animal get killed in a movie.
Plus, it's even more unnecessary because like they're like, oh, it's causing these animals to like become angry and all this stuff. Well, it's like they have two dogs, and one of them becomes angry and like it tries to attack one of them in the beginning, but then the other one never does. It just gets killed by the aliens when they show up. So it's like,
yeah, that was weird. And another thing I found weird about this movie is like how they grill. In this movie, they're grilling this chicken. And here's the thing. The way I was always raised while doing this. And I've watched Cody grill too, and it's disturbing. Cody takes, obviously this is the necessary thing. I guess this is like really if you have a big permanent grill, like you're going to have for 25 years or whatever, this big thing.
Yeah.
And, you scrape off
the shit.
Yeah. Well, when you have a cheaper grill, just like a charcoal grill.
You put like foil over it.
Yeah, my dad puts foil over the thing so you don't have to clean the grills, and he just pokes holes in it with a fork to let the smoke go through, and he sprays it with fucking cooking spray now. We didn't have that back then. I guess you just put butter on it so it wouldn't stick. So it's always like that. So whenever I see somebody grill something and it doesn't have aluminum foil over the thing, I'm like, I don't know about that. And Cody, he put, he grilled that day. I never forget that. These big hunking meats and burgers. And he put it on there, and it's like 10 minutes later, he pulled them off. Like the motherfuckers were black as this microphone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. And Cody goes, "Do you want one?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm good. I appreciate the offer."
Damn,
I called my dad, and I go, "Dad, I'm never gonna like have anybody's burgers but your own."
I like the nasty shit that they got on the grill.
No, it's not so much
residue.
that. It's. But the thing when you bit into Cody's burger, and I looked at it, it was like all pink and shit. I'm like, this was like fucking like 6 years ago. Bro.
Yeah, this is probably like the
the
second or third time I'd ever grilled with a charcoal grill. So it's like I was definitely still learning. Since then, like I got to the point where I was also using like aluminum foil and doing that.
You can eat a stinky pinky burger though.
I mean,
yeah,
I
like
like
a
little
easier.
pink. I like a little pink in the meat.
It's black on the outside, pink on the inside.
I don't like pink on burgers. I can eat it with steak; it's fine. Burgers, though, is the mixture of what's left of the cow. Yeah. So you could be eating something of their digestive tract. God damn it!
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. It's like, I like a little pink. It's juicy. I'm like, shut up.
I like a little pink.
Because it's an easy way to get.
If you get good hamburger meat, you're not gonna be eating that kind of shit. Like it's supposed to just be straight up like muscle, which I typically just buy like ground chuck or whatever because I know exactly what it is, and that's basically
ground chuck.
That's basically the closest thing to getting like just like ground steak basically into hamburger meat. So
I missed you, Owen. He's like ground cook. I'm going to get a ride home after this. Okay.
All right. You're home now.
I just think about this. We're going to have to play that sound clip from Scary Movie 3. He's just like, I'm going to need a ride home. You got what?
I got itch my ear.
All this is like, I have to pee. That boy has to go pee. Yeah, the movie's just kind of straightforward. Let me just get to this part, and we'll talk about the things you guys didn't like. But the movie's really kind of centered around signs and faith, and it's about family. And there's another clip I'm trying to find with Cody. In Tropic Thunder, they spoofed Jack Black's character as making like kind of like the Eddie Murphy Nutty Professor where he plays all the characters.
Yeah.
So in this movie he plays it, but it's like Fatty's Fart 2. Fartsville or something like that. And he's all drunk and high at the fucking premiere of his movies and he's like, you know, people think this movie's about farts. It's not. It's about family. And he bites the top off the microphone. He's like, fuck you. You can't do what I do. He's all drunk and shit. I'm like, this movie's about faith, family, and aliens. It's like, it's about farts and fuck you.
It's about fucking swing away, Meryl.
Swing away. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Like, everything in the movie ties into each other, like, too perfectly, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And it's just, I will say, up until the end, when you see the CGI alien, I think the alien stuff is effective, and it blew my mind as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the scares are pretty good.
The tension that the music helps. And the music, we talked about the score earlier. The music in this movie, I feel like, works with the scenes. And I was listening to the guy who did the music. Hold on, let me just pull up his name. It's right here. My phone keeps going to sleep. It's like, wake up, fucker. Wake up. Wake up. To the makeup.
Makeup.
Yoo-hoo.
Woohoo.
The music is done by James Newton Howard,
Jimmy Neutron.
who, ironically enough, did The Fugitive, which we have done before.
Oh yeah,
Space Jam.
Oh no, it's Commando where the music goes like super hard the whole time.
He also did the music for The Dark Knight, which he composed with Hans Zimmer. And he did Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Whoa, where do you find them at?
Who knows? So yeah, he scored over 100 films. And let's see here.
How many women has he scored there?
Gonna score.
Score.
Well, he married Rosanna Arquette in 1986 and divorced 1 year later. In 1992, he married somebody else and they have 2 children. So may he rest
He
in
married
peace.
Roseanne. Roseanne Barr.
Roseanne Barr.
That's fucking gross.
Yeah, him doing which kind of makes sense. We like how much I love the score of The Fugitive and how that score worked perfectly with that movie.
Yeah.
Even though it's like it feels like it's the same 3 tracks they play. He did this movie, so like, and he said like while they're interviewing him for the Blu-ray/DVD, and it's funny is when I bought the Blu-ray, literally every special feature in every language have the movies in is what's on the DVD from 2002. They literally changed nothing.
Yeah.
And
It's probably just one of those.
He was
movies
saying
they're like, we were going to put a Blu-ray out, but we don't think this movie's popular enough to bother like tracking these people down for more content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I feel like too. And he said that John Newton or James Newton, fucking hell, I'm so bad at this. I should just quit hosting podcasts. James Newton Howard was interviewed, and he said, when we did the score, they originally had somebody else do it, and then James came back to the project because I think they had agreed, like, okay, let's just not do this. Like, we'll do the next project together. I think they had worked together on like The Sixth Sense and all that. And he was like, okay. And then they did the score, and he was like, hey, sorry, called him back. And I did. And he's like, I want you back, So he came in, he's like, I think the score works with the movie. And he goes, I think the music sounds better with the sound effects in it. Yeah. Like knife screeching or whatever, that type of thing. So if I wanted to score that didn't work with the movie, I could have wrote that. But he tries to write it where it works with what's going on in that scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think the scariest scene to me, it caused me to jump rewatching it, is when Mel Gibson is like, he sees the alien for the first time underneath the pantry door. Yeah. And it's so funny. He's like, don't throw your wife away. So he thinks because he still thinks it's a hoax. And he's like, hauled him away in a paddy wagon. He's like, and he looks down. He's like, paddy wagon.
He's like, Krabby Patty.
And then he looks down there. And he's like, oh, whatever, and walks away. And then comes back to all of a sudden the fucking alien's arms right there. It's like, oh god.
What is it with the aliens and like grabbing under doors? Like, why do they like to do that?
Well, they're struggling to open doors.
Yeah, because they have
big fucking hands. I think
they have
like,
two. They have two big old fat fingers. One for the pink and one for the stink.
That's called evolution. fucking
They-
eventually will evolve.
I did read somewhere or listen because I listened to like quite a few reviews on this movie, probably like 7 of them. And M. Night Shyamalan originally wanted like a stealth thing with the aliens, almost kind of like Predator, not exactly, but he wanted them to be able to be like individual. Yeah, but they blend in with their background though.
Yeah.
That's how he changed it because he wanted to do something basically. He thought it'd be kind of hokey, a little too high tech for these aliens because they're coming here, they're scavenging because maybe their civilization is not surviving.
He didn't think the wife pinned to the tree and her dying words being the way that they defeat the final alien wasn't hokey, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I threw in the word hokey. He probably wouldn't have done that.
Well, I mean,
but
it
is hokey if you put it that way.
It wouldn't have fit with like the kind of aliens he's trying to do. But I mean, like, yeah, this movie is kind of a little hokey.
Yeah, and like I said, I'll agree. I think it's hokey.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's hokey, but I don't think I said this while we were recording. I think that these early M. Night Shyamalan movies, even if they're like, kind of dumb, I think there's some kind of like, there's like a charm to it a little bit. Like, I wasn't appalled by this movie like some people are. You'll see a lot of reviews. They're like, this is the fucking stupidest movie. I mean,
it's got a 75 on Rotten Tomatoes, though.
I mean, yeah, so like, I mean, some people definitely like it. I mean, I've seen 10-star reviews, and I don't think it's that damn, like, I mean, I don't think the movie's good, really. It's
kind of all over the place. Like, for as many like good scenes that there are, there's just as many bad scenes. And
I think the reason
well,
why,
if you take the sum of those parts you just said, Cody, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
it's all over the place, but really it's like really just one place. It's kind of mundane also in the same way.
Yeah. And I think part of the reason why this movie has a bad rep is because M. Night, I think before these movies, I haven't seen like, what's the movie he did between this and
The Village.
He did The Village before this?
No, The Village was after this. That was
okay.
2006.
I mean, before The Sixth Sense.
It was Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Was that good? I don't remember.
Cody would have to say, because he watched those 3 movies.
Yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson,
I think
Bruce Willis in that movie.
Unbreakable is good. I mean, like, I think we've talked about this before because we briefly talked about Old on an old podcast episode, but
I read the plot of Old. I wouldn't like that twist.
Nah, it's not good.
It's like The Village. The Village was a great movie until the fucking ending.
I just think Old wasn't a good movie. Period. Like, it's just kind of like, all right, this is what we're doing. But Unbreakable, I think if you had to pick like top tier Shyamalan, it'd be Unbreakable, The Visit, Split.
I would put
The Sixth Sense was pretty good.
I
watched The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, The Sixth Sense.
I would put Split. Split's probably my favorite. That movie was fucking awesome.
Yeah, so like up to this point, every M. Night Shyamalan movie has been pretty damn good. And then he comes out with this, and it's just like,
it's the next greatest thing. The thing is, like, everybody thought it was like the next Hitchcock. Like, all these movies are great. Like I said, this movie had great buzz coming out. There's very little reviews. I think in a lot of hindsight when you look at it, like, okay, this movie's very paint by numbers.
Yeah, probably. I mean, because like, I think what killed M. Night was probably like The Village, and then like Avatar.
Yeah, I'm bringing up his filmography now. So like, you had Praying with Anger and Wide Awake. Then it was The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, and then you had Signs, The Village, Lady in the Water, The Happening, The Last Airbender, After Earth. Like, it's just like it ranges from like mediocre to just turds for like 6 movies straight. For 6 movies straight, and then you finally like, oh, here's The Visit and Split, which I think are both fantastic movies. And then of course now
The Visit was legitimately terrifying to me.
Yeah,
is that the one with the old people?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that movie was kind of goofy.
He said when he filmed that movie, he said he could cut it. He literally looked at it. He goes, "I can cut it 2 ways: one to be a straight up horror film, or one to be a straight up comedy."
Yeah. And
he said he left some of the comedy in there when he did it, but he said he had to make that decision after filming the movie. He says, "I could cut this one of 2 ways." It's almost like he didn't realize at the time.
I mean, isn't there like a scene with the old lady like pees like her pants or some shit?
Like, I don't. No. The
no,
boy,
like
the little boy.
The granddad shits his pants all the time.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is kind of funny.
And then there's like the fucking. I remember the little kid, the guy, like the little boy being annoying as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
I mean, I love that movie. I think it's great, and like the twist at the end is just like I remember being in the
He's
theater.
like, they're not your grandparents, bro.
Yeah, and like I
What?
remember being in the theater, and my like just heart sank. I'm like, oh fuck! Like it's such a to me, it was such a good build up to that twist, and like it's the same thing with Split. You know, Split has like such a good build up to the twist and toward the end, where it's like, oh fuck, you know, like which of course Split is intense pretty much throughout the entire film.
It's in that movie Split. It's like even at the ending when it's like he is kind of a supernatural product because of the personalities.
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel hokey, and then you see at the end that it's connected to Unbreakable.
Yeah, which makes it make even
then they
more
had-
sense because it's like, oh, okay, so this is something that we've already kind of seen as a possibility in this world.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think here because I mean I did an ass job of covering the plot, but I mean it's
Signs.
not
I
yet.
mean, yeah, it's-
You have to watch the movie to get it.
I mean, like, here's my rundown of signs, all right? Fucking alien
Throw it
cross
down.
circles. So, fucking, this preacher's wife gets pinned up against a car, and she dies.
No sex.
And
No sex.
The preacher can't have sex for like
The
forever.
rest of his life.
So he
no
never-
sex. I can't hear you.
He never remarries, and his son is Macaulay Culkin. And then so, what the fuck was that?
That was incredible.
Was that a sneeze?
Yeah.
I thought that was you going shmew.
And I was waiting for Owen to go, Zooey mama.
I don't know. I literally was caught off guard. I was like, what the fuck was that? So fucking this preacher loses his faith.
And his
And
virginity.
then aliens. Yeah, and his virginity, even though he already has like 2 kids. He loses it to his brother.
He stole those.
Meryl.
It's like The Visit. That's another
Yeah.
twist in this movie. He stole these kids.
They're like, she's like, what's the kid's name in The Visit? He's like fucking Tommy or something. Tommy. That.
I
don't know.
can't
know where
remember
I
the
was-
kid, yeah.
I don't even know where I was going with that.
The
Anyway.
fucking Scary Movie 3. God, going back to this. Is when he goes in to check on his daughter. And it's mimicking another movie where the girl is up underneath this sheet and she's playing with something. It's like really creepy. She's like, it's really hot. You should probably like take off your clothes so we can lay down together. And he
that's
goes,
Michael Jackson.
you're not my daughter. And he's like, he pulls the thing and Michael Jackson's like, ah! And he's like, where's my daughter at? And he goes, Jesus, man, she's a girl. He goes, oh, you sick. And then Michael Jackson grabs his crotch. He's like, oh. He grabs his crotch and Michael Jackson's like, and then Michael Jackson goes to jump out the window and he grabs him and the suit rips and you see it's an alien.
Yeah.
And his brother comes up behind him. He's like, what was that? He goes, I don't know. And you see the alien conversing through the cornfield and runs into a sign. So there's a scene in this movie where you see the movement of something in the cornfield. And I just think about it hitting that sign going, dong, and then going in another direction.
It's really fucking funny, actually.
Scary Movie 3 is fucking incredible.
like
I had people say, oh, it's not funny because it does with the Wayne Brothers. It's funnier than the Wayne Brothers series.
Yeah, all the Wayne brother ones were always just like,
Oh, it's weird.
yo,
Well,
he's
it's-
fucking sucking
I think
his dick.
I think especially Scary Movie 1, like it struggles because like Scream is already a parody of slasher films, you know. So like to make a parody of a parody is like a kind of a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
Especially like when a lot of the jokes is like, oh, you just took the same jokes from Scream and just made them crude, and it doesn't really make them funny. Whereas like
Yeah, that's
Scary
my
Movie
biggest
3,
problem with
Scary
it.
Movie 3 taking Signs and The Ring and making fun of those 2 movies.
And Grudge. And The Grudge. And
No,
all that. It takes all
the
of
Grudge
that.
was Scary Movie 4.
And it's a lot less like, yo, you getting your dick sucked, bro, smoking
Yeah.
weed.
And here's
Yeah.
the best part about Scary Movie 3 and 4, in my opinion, is the fact that Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun and the Airplane movie is President Bush.
Yeah.
And Ja Rule is his security guard in the 3rd movie, which is the one we're talking about. And they're having this thing where they're talking about aliens. And his supervisor goes, sir, I think you need to get on television and tell people there's no such thing as UFO. He goes, what'd I tell you? Stop spelling in front of me, damn it. And he goes, it's like, well, sir, people need to know that aliens don't exist. He goes, well, that's not exactly true. And he goes, sir? And he's like, last Thanksgiving, an alien crashed in the earth. And he said, Well, something happened, and instead of sending the body to Area 51, it got sent down in the kitchen. They shoved stuffing up his ass, and we had it for Thanksgiving. That's the last I saw of it. Scratch that. We did have leftovers. And Leslie Nielsen is just, like I said, what Owen has referenced it before. I guess this is going to be a Sign/Scary Movie 3 review. When the aliens are like, oh, sorry, we were just trying to find where that videotape was. They watched the videotape for The Ring or whatever. And it's like, oh, we're just like you. Say hi. And it's like, why do you keep kicking him in the nuts? It's like, oh.
That's how we say hello.
And then he goes, they start peeing out their hands like, and we pee out of our hand. And then Leslie Nielsen goes, we're not so different after all. He starts pissing out of his hand. and the security guard looks at him and he's like, oh, stops.
Doesn't one of the aliens has like his finger in somebody's mouth when they say that?
In Charlie Sheen's mouth, he's like, oh! And he starts brushing his teeth and shit.
Not so different after all.
We're not so different after all. And Leslie Nielsen will, and it was really great because I'm glad he had that before he passed away. He had gotten to the point, kind of like Will Ferrell is, where your routine gets old. And then people don't like the movies that come out. And that happened with Leslie after like Naked Gun 33 and a third, which is the third movie. Yeah. And he did some other things. He did one that was actually pretty good, Dracula, Dead and Loving It, where he's playing traffic. It's really good. Yeah. But it had other movies that sucked. And then he kind of had a comeback after Scary Movie 3, which came out in 2003. And he would play the president, and then he was Scary Movie 4, and he played a couple other things. And he passed away, I think, in like 2013 maybe.
That's so different.
So
right when he.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just looking at Leslie Nielsen's Day to Death because I love Leslie Nielsen.
I was gonna say my favorite scene in Scary Movie 4 is when the realtor's trying to sell the Grudge house. And there's like the girl's hair is like in the corner and is like taking it and like stuffing it all into a bag, and then like the boy pops up out of the bathtub and just like punches him in the face and like
he puts him down.
He takes a frying pan and hits him in the face like, ah! And it's funny in Scary Movie 4. I always love it because it makes fun of World of Worlds. The guy who plays the Tom Cruise character is actually the guy who played Max Baer in Cinderella Man, the last boxer, the bad guy. And he's carrying his child through the woods, and his son's there. He goes, look, Dad, he says something to him. He's like, look, I had to carry your sister this whole way. And she pops out from behind. She goes, you're not carrying me. And he goes, then who am I? And listen, it's a little short, little midget guy. It looks like an elf. He goes, I'll pay you. And he just kind of drops him. It's so stupid. I just think, I'll pay you.
So going back to Signs, I did want to mention one scene because like we've talked about, there's some good scenes and there's some bad scenes or corny scenes or whatever. The dinner scene,
that was really good.
Yeah, I think that's the best scene in the movie. Like to me it makes you feel like, oh, like all the weight that they're feeling, like, oh, this may be our last night ever. And the fact that, like, they all get the meals or whatever that they talked about wanting, and the kids and stuff, they don't want to eat because they're so scared. And he starts freaking out. He's like, fine, I'll just have some of everything. And he's like breaking down, and just, to me it's like such a good scene. And it's just a shame that, like, it's in a film that has a bunch of corny scenes. Meryl, swing away.
That's what kind of like degrades the scene to me is that you have like Rory Culkin being like, and throughout the movie he's just been like, well, actually, you have to film this tape so your children's children could view it. And
there's a good movie in here if it wasn't filled up with such like bullshit. Yeah. But some of the ways. Yeah.
And I feel like partly to blame is that M. Night Shyamalan was like, well, I have to put some
humor in this
movie here and there. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, part of that makes it like
corny.
Yeah, really corny. Like there's some really stupid dialogue.
There is. I will say this. There's a deleted scene. There's only like 4 of them that's included. But the one, the part where they're getting into the house and they're about to go downstairs.
Yeah.
Well, there's an extended part of that scene where Joaquin Phoenix looks up and goes, "We didn't board up the attic door, right?" Well, there's a scene that expands upon it, and he runs up there and he's looking around to try to put something in front of it. And what his goal is, for some reason, he gets the footstool, he stands up, and he's trying to hold the attic door himself, and they're struggling with it. And Harrison Ford did it. Mel Gibson runs up and he's like, and he says something. He goes, and Joaquin Phoenix goes, "This is a really short. I can't remember what the fucking word I'm thinking of right now. This is a short solution. This isn't going to work long." Yeah. So they figure out, like, they pull out this kind of dresser thing with a display case at the top, and it fits just like maybe 2 inches from the attic door. And they get it there, and then he lets go of the spot, and all of a sudden you see the attic door slam down, like boom, and it's like you don't see anything, and then it slowly lifts back up. Boom! It's like, holy shit! It scared me. There was no music in the scene. I wish they left that in the movie. And then they get downstairs, and you hear the dresser get knocked over because they finally got through the attic door, and then they block up the kitchen door. And you know how he's having a story time talking about when they were first born, right, with his kids. And they go downstairs, and he is talking to Joaquin Phoenix. He goes, "Do you remember when you were 2.5 years old and I accidentally dislocated your arm?" He tells this whole fucking story.
You remember when we touched wieners?
Oh, God. And it's really good. And then Joaquin Phoenix kind of breaks down. He goes downstairs, and then you see the door of the kitchen opening, like slowly, like it's from the camera view. Mel Gibson looks over, and he just kind of walks down. At that point, I think Mel Gibson's kind of accepting, up until when he tries to keep the door shut. He says, "I'm not ready." Like, he's accepting that they're going to die at this point in this whole movie.
That stuff sounds like it could have elevated all that stuff in the end, but it is weird watching it, and like they specifically point out, like, "Oh, we didn't board up the attic," and then it's just you never see the aliens come through the attic. You never get any kind of like reference to that attic door ever again. So what was the point if they cut all that other stuff out? What was the point in even bringing the attic door up in the final cut?
It was almost like they're going to get in the house faster, because they boarded up stuff, and at the closing scene, that scene where he's holding Culkin, the alien, if you look at the 2 windows behind the alien, they're busted through. Like, they got through it. They didn't get through the doors. They actually
head against it. Yeah. See, they can't beat doors, but they can beat windows.
Well, that's the thing is, like, when they're in the cellar, you hear glass shattering. So, like, my assumption is, they're just coming in through the windows. Like, they're making it. That's how they're making it through. But never, like, specifically anything to do with the attic. To me, it's just like they could have, if they cut all that other stuff out with the attic, they could have just cut the little part of him even mentioning the attic door wasn't boarded up, and just left it alone.
What if they all put their little, like, wiener hand appendage? What if they all put it underneath the door and then gas them out of the fucking thing?
That could have happened too. But it's one of those, like, it's funny that scene when they're about to go downstairs. This is before they get into the kitchen. Yeah. You see the alien's hand come from underneath the door. Yeah. And I remember at my old house that doesn't exist anymore, our original wood door that we had there had a fucking, like, it looked like a 1/2 inch gap between the bottom of the floor. A lot of old wood doors have that. Yeah, and we had to put, like, a fucking big fucking not blanket, but, like, rug, and kind of roll it up and put it in there so cold air wouldn't come in. Yeah. And that's what that reminded me of, because that door, as you can tell, had a fucking gap between the floor and
front door too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the front door.
He was, like, reaching into his front door and fucking giving it the old...
the 2 in the pink and the 2 in the stink.
The old shocker.
And
he's like, "This is you next, motherfucker."
Oh, God. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and get in recommendations. This will be a shorter episode, because it kind of went off the track. But really, when you watch the movie, after you watch it one time, if it doesn't fascinate you, it's either going to bore you or entertain you in the wrong way.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what this movie is. It kind of entertains you in the wrong way.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Exactly. And I think, but like I said, also, like, me and my girlfriend liked it, and Alex liked it. Stop doing that. It's showing up like a
when I dropped it?
Yeah, it's like, now you're good. But I think it's a polarizing movie. Like, you're either going to really like this movie, but it's only going to be a movie you watch every once in a while. It's not like something you can rewatch all the time. You're like, oh, this is a great movie. Or it's going to be like entertaining or boring in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go ahead and get mine out of the way. I recommend this movie just because I think everybody should watch it at least once to see if you like it. If you go in with like no expectations, like not a jaded view of M. Night Shyamalan, you're just watching a movie, you may really enjoy it, or you may also still be bored. I think it's a coin toss for most people if they're going to like it or if they're not going to like it.
I would agree. Yeah.
But like I said, I watched this movie a lot with my dad growing up, and it was just something about it. Like I said, we were all huge Mel Gibson fans. We loved all of his movies, and it was just one of those things like, oh man, this was kind of a scary movie, but not a scary movie. You know, my mom didn't like watching scary movies, but she'd watch this one. So I have a kind of a connection to it with my heart. And I think the movie is worth a watch at least for our first viewing to see where that person takes it. But I would recommend it. Cody, I'll ask you, sir. What do you think?
Yeah, I would recommend it for a watch. I mean, it's not egregious in its length either. I think it's got like a runtime of like an hour 45 minutes or something like that.
And it goes by quick too.
Yeah.
At least it doesn't drag.
Yeah, and again, like
he's nuts.
I think it's an entertaining movie. At least it'll be entertaining to most people one way or the other. Either the way it was intended or like a sort of a mix, because there were quite a few scenes that like we kind of talked about earlier, that I feel like they were intended to be a little bit more serious, but they came off as comedic. Except for licking toes or whatever.
Sucking toes.
But yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Okay. Owen, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of neutral on it, really. I mean, there's stuff that's stupid about it, but like I said,
would you suggest this movie to someone you loved or cared about? Hey, let's watch this movie.
I would say that there's better movies out there to watch.
Okay, so you don't recommend it.
I guess not.
It's simple as that.
Yeah, no.
It's okay. I mean, like I said, me and Cody. I mean, I'm probably lean more positive this movie. I understand where you guys are coming from.
There's better M. Night movies to watch. Go watch The Sixth Sense if you haven't seen that.
Yes, that's a good movie. And like I said, this one I just hadn't seen it forever. Like, let me see if it held up. It held up the first watch, but the next day I tried to watch it, it didn't.
I think a big part of why I kind of loved this movie had charm for me was because of kind of nostalgia, probably. Nostalgia. I'm the nostalgia critic.
So okay, we got 2 recommends and 1 not recommend. Sorry for the episode; it's kind of disjointed. Like I said, if you watch the movie, you can understand that there's not a lot to the plot, but the twists and turns are just kind of like in your face. It's kind of hard to describe, and it's kind of hard to kind of keep it in order too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we pretty much set our piece.
If you've seen Scary Movie 3, you get the gist of
it. Great.
I would say this. I love Signs, just from the connection of my heart I have to it. But I would definitely recommend Scary Movie 3 to watch first. Like, if they're like, you want to watch Signs or Scary Movie 3, I would vote Scary Movie 3 10 times out of 9. That's how much I love that movie. Yeah. And our next movie, unfortunately, won't have Owen in person, but will be in spirit and over a phone call. Owen, what is your next movie, good sir?
The Lighthouse.
In the middle of the street. Our house. Na 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 na. You know that song? I literally thought like there was a street in the middle of the street. It's not.
I thought that too when I heard it as a kid.
Yeah, but I still think about that now. I can't get that out of my head.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I had like a revelation when I was like 5 or something. I was like, wait, they mean like in like the middle like of like the neighborhood.
Well, off the street, in the middle of the neighborhood. Yeah,
they don't mean like in the middle of the road.
Yeah, but if you listen to it as a kid, you're like, middle of the street. That's kind of a funny place to put that in the house.
That's so weird.
That's
I mean, cars will be
getting mad at you. I was, you wouldn't have to mow your grass because the grass would be the road.
Our house
in the middle of the street.
In the middle of your ass.
Parking that trailer. Anyway, so the next movie will be Lighthouse, and Cody, your movie will be after that. What will it be?
It will be Krampus.
Krampus and your wampus.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I get to do Lethal Weapon after that. Hell yeah!
I'm gonna put my Babadook in your Krampus.
Oh damn! This thing went from G-rated to fucking X-rated.
Thinking like that's Hereditary.
Yeah. You're gonna hereditarily get this. What's another one? Shit.
The Human Centipede up my ass.
But you can only it's part of the Midsummer Festival, unfortunately. Man, it will always follow you to the end.
Yeah, it follows
like chlamydia.
My Babadook, it follows into your Krampus.
And then I get chlamydia afterwards.
It's funny. It's funny too because like Krampus is like the horror movie that's nothing like the rest of those horror movies.
Yeah, I don't know why I think in my brain I'm like, yeah, that's like the Babadook and it follows and shit.
Krampus.
I can't wait. I think I've seen Krampus.
Krampus is like
at some point.
It's just like a straight up. It's like a dark. It's like a horror comedy, basically.
Well, Cody, when we do that episode, I know you've watched this episode. We're going to have to play a little bit of the clip from the Krampus episode of The League. Remember, he gets real high and gets in that suit, and he goes, "I'm Krampus." And he's like, "Come here, Santa, you sack of shit." And he's just like beating the hell out of him and scaring the kids off and shit.
Can we watch Bad Santa too?
Oh yeah, that movie's like, "I'm gonna get me some sandwiches."
I like the kid in that.
He's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we get off the rails even more, I think we'll say adieu and thank you for listening to Filmoscopy. Listen and subscribe. Leave us a review. Go on Twitter and follow us. Our PayPal account is Enigmatic Vein PayPal.
Yeah, it goes to all of us.
It goes to all of us. I'll let them know. Don't worry. Daddy needs a new microphone. Anyway, thank you for listening, and as always, finish him.
Remember, we're not alone.
Krampus. I saw the signs.
I'm gonna need a ride home after this.